Thank you for joining us. My name is Mildred and I am your instructor for this course. This is CSS Introduction of the Foundations of Web Development series of the Transition to Tech series. In this lesson, we are going to look at what CSS is. Now, CSS is an acronym for Cascading Style Sheet, and it is used to style the presentation of elements on the web page. Now, because it is a rule-based language, we define the rules to be applied to elements or a group of elements on the page. And these rules change the presentation of elements on the page. Now we have what we call the W3C, which is the World Wide Web Consortium, which is an international community that develops open standards and guidelines for the World Wide Web. In December of 1996, CSS1 became a recommendation by the W3C. In May of 1998, CSS2 was released. In 2000, CSS3 was introduced, and CSS3 began the breakdown of the single monolithic specification into different modules that address different stylings. And in modern day now, we just have CSS as it keeps evolving. Now, for you to follow with this course and to do the hands-on practical, you will need a PC, you will need internet connection to complete lessons and to upload assignments. And while you can use your phone to take this course, it is not advised as it will be difficult for you to follow with the practical assignment. The code editor I will use for this course is the Visual Studio Code, so you can head over to code.visualstudio.com and download Visual Studio Code for your use. Now, there are three ways that we can apply cascading style sheet to an HTML document. If you're coming from the HTML course, you'll see that we looked at the first two ways, and in this course we're going to only look at the external style sheet. Now, we have the first way being embedding the style using the style element or the style tag in the head area of the HTML document, and then we have the inline style where we use the style attributes in the start tag of the HTML element, and now we have the external style sheet that we reference using the link tag in the head area of the document. We're going to first of all start by looking at how to create a project, and then we'll go into looking at how to navigate the directory so we can specify the directory of our file. So I'm going to head over to my desktop, and on my desktop here, all I want to do is create a project. So I'm going to minimize this, and I'm going to create a project on my desktop. So you can create a folder on your desktop, and you can give the folder any name you want. I'm going to give this folder the name first. Now navigate into the same folder, and you want to create another folder here, and we'll call this folder CSS. This directory is the root directory of the application. When we go to Visual Studio Code, we can add the folder First Web App to it. We have the First Web App and we have the CSS folder. In this root directory, I want to create an HTML file, and I'm going to paste an HTML code here. You don't need to bother about HTML, as will provide you HTML templates that you will work with for your CSS. Now I have this HTML file in the same directory as the CSS folder. I'm going to go into the CSS folder, and within it I want to create a new file, and I'll call it styles.css. Now this is the structure I want to use. For my HTML, I want to just put a basic code, and I'll just copy and paste something there. So I have a HTML code here, and when we want to specify external style sheet, we use the link tag. So this is the only tag of concern for you. Link real style sheet, href, and then the name of the style, styles.css. But now you can't put just the name of the file, because this file is in a directory called CSS. When I head back to my desktop, we'll see that we have the web app. When I go into it, I'll see a CSS folder and an index. When I go into the CSS, then I see styles.css. Now the index file is in the same directory with the CSS folder. So when you are here, you can see both the index and the CSS, which means that from this index file, you have to go into the CSS folder to be able to see the styles.css. So we'll go back to our reference, and we'll change this to go into the CSS folder / then get the styles.css. Alright, so here is where we're going to write our styles, and we expect it to apply here. If we go back to our desktop and we come to the index page and we open, we'll see how the page looks. We have a text on the page, and these are the default styles. So this is where we end this lesson. In the next lesson, we're going to now look at CSS selectors and how we can apply styles to the different elements that we have on the web page.